This story here with Andrew Tate's gotten so big it hit my radar. Gonna have to start talking about it, and I want to start talking about it. It's pretty interesting, and I've been watching some of his videos. What he does basically that I know is a lot of motivation. He's got a school, he's got some online things going with crypto. I don't know exactly everything he does, but one thing he does is motivation. Now, the motivation isn't exactly politically correct. It's not exactly with the current thing, I should say, so some people don't like him. I'm pretty neutral. Some things he says, I'm like, that was overboard. I see how people don't like that, but other things are really fantastic. But let's see what the Mirror here has to say first. Andrew Tate facing cockroach-ridden hellhole prison where guards abuse inmates. So he was arrested on allegations of taking some girls and making them, or I should say forcing them to have some kind of OnlyFans type thing where they do something against their will. Now, the thing I find a little bit strange about this is Tate's got a lot of money, he gets a lot of women, and I've got to imagine whatever he's accused of doing, he could get women to do for free or just, pay them like what's a little tiny fraction of money for him and they do it. So I can't see the motive here. Now, I've got a friend since 4th grade, I'm now in my 40s, who has lived in Romania and he's lived in the States and he's been back and forth to Romania a ton of times. And the one thing I know he said is there are a lot of bugs in Romania, in clubs, in restaurants, most places he went to. I've never been there, can't say for sure, but I've heard stories. So if indeed this is true about him being in a prison cell, Andrew Tate here, then yeah, that might be accurate. By the way, it's updated on January 1st, 2023, and the first print was from December 31st, so it's fairly new. It begins. Andrew Tate is in for a shock when his lavish lifestyle is replaced by life in a Romanian prison, which have been described as a cockroach-ridden hellhole where prisoners are abused by guards. The influencer is used to living the high life, but saw his Romanian mansion raided on Thursday night and now faces being locked up for 30 days. The former kickboxing star was arrested with younger brother Tristan, and their lawyer's request for them to be released from prison was rejected on Friday. The pair are now set to be taken to one of Romania's detention and preventative arrest centers, although it is currently uncertain which one he will be held in. A report by the Council of Europe's Committee for the Prevention of Torture in and Degrading Treatment and Punishment gave a damning verdict of what Tate can expect from prison. The report read, material conditions in all the prisons visited were generally poor, with cells dilapidated, lacking equipment, storage space, tables and chairs, and mattresses and bedding worn out and infested with bed bugs and cockroaches. Many complaints were received about the very limited access to hot water as well in respect of the inefficient in-cell heating winter. So that sounds pretty bad, and like I said, I kind of believe that part of it. Just based on my friend having so much experience in Romania, obviously he's never been to prison, never even close, but clubs, restaurants, gas stations, stuff like that, he frequently found there was just a bunch of bugs in places he didn't expect. Like when he went to the bathroom, he said the wall was just like covered in beetles and stuff, and he was like surprised. He thought it was a black wall or something. So yeah, that could be. Tate and his brother Tristan are famously inseparable, attending parties and meetings together, as well as living in a luxury mansion together. They have both amassed social media followings in the millions after going viral throughout the year with clips from their various podcast appearances due to their controversial opinions, which shouldn't really be controversial. Some of them are. Sometimes he goes overboard, but sometimes he says things I wholeheartedly, fully, 100% agree with. Like, men should be men. Masculinity is not a bad thing. I guess it can be if it gets out of hand, but masculinity in itself is not a bad thing. It's actually neutral. Both Andrew and Tristan were respected kickboxers on the British and European scenes in the mid-2000s and early 2010s, but the elder brother ended up going further in his career, winning a world title after his younger sibling was hampered with injuries. The pair were arrested on Thursday in connection with an investigation into alleged human trafficking, the R word, and forming an organized crime group. They could face a hostile welcome in prison if the Council of Europe's committee report is correct. Now, that's the thing I got to question, because Andrew and his brother have a lot of money. They're multimillionaires, I think 10, 20, 30, 40, upward millions, maybe even more. So They just would not need to commit crimes. They could. You never know. Sometimes people get so rich, the thrills in life wear off. They go skydiving, rocket climbing, deep sea fishing. Wait, I said, I meant rock climbing, deep sea fishing, things like that. And maybe some of them take it too far and do some crime for a thrill. It's not impossible, but I don't know, man. I just can't see a motive here. It adds a considerable number of allegations of physical ill treatment of prisoners by prison staff were received. The reports detail several allegations of physical ill treatment, including sexual abuse by staff, and raises serious concerns over the lack of recording of injuries by the healthcare service and failures to investigate allegations effectively. Both brothers deny the allegations against them and are expected to appeal against the decision to hold them in custody again next week. See, I don't know the Romanian legal system. I can't say, but I'm going to assume it's not quite as open ended and forgiving as the US is until proven guilty. So I mentioned Tate in one of my live streams just to give you guys a quick example of something he said that I actually found very helpful in my life. Is he said most people go to their job 9 to 5, they come home, and then they just kind of watch TV, watch a movie. It's over. I worked today. That's it. But that attitude doesn't really get you anywhere. It kind of hurts you because you've got that second part of your day that you could utilize to bring yourself further and make more money and make more of yourself. The other thing he said was this. He's like, if you wake up tired or you feel sick, a lot of times people just kind of say, nah, I'm going to kind of take it slow today. I feel sick. I'll get less work done today or something. But if you function exactly the same as when you're feeling good, you get more done. And sometimes you kind of make an excuse like, oh, I feel kind of sick, and you kind of roll with it. Then you feel a little better, but you're still like, well, I decided on feeling sick today and kind of taking it slow or whatever. So if you don't like him for certain reasons, that's cool. I'm not here to say he's great all round, he's awesome all round. But the fact is, he does give some good life advice that I think pretty much anyone can make good use of. Furthermore, it's kind of hard to tell what's going on. I try to tell people, same thing with Death vs. Heard, with Marilyn Manson, with all the stuff going on. We're sitting behind screens. We're all in different places of the world. And then news comes out to us. It's really hard to verify what actually physically happened in reality. Once something gets round that sounds good, sounds like the evidence is there, people are like, yeah, this is what happened, and like talk like they know. But the fact is, it's real hard to know what happened in any circumstance while you're just behind the screen, your phone, thousands of miles away from what's going on. Well, in the Death vs. Heard case, we had the audio, so that was tangible. But most times, it's just thin air. It's hard to tell. So as far as this, obviously, like always, got to see the evidence, and I got to feel the evidence is real. I don't know, like someone just says something, I don't know. There's just got to be proof. Once again, same standard that I held Amber to. Police reports, medical reports, videos, audios that are authentic, things like that. If not, then it's up in the air. I don't know who to believe, and that's that. Let me know what you think down below. Doing shout outs, special thanks, things like that. If you're not subscribed here, consider it. If you do subscribe, you'll get videos, stuff like that. Dry sense of humor, sometimes funny, sometimes not. We're done here. That was a rant. See you next time.